So, hey everyone, I want to thank you so much for joining me today. And as a grief and trauma relief specialist, I bring a wealth of expertise to my life coaching by combining personal experience with professional knowledge. So today we're going to be talking about something that many of you are probably all too familiar with, and it's unresolved emotional pain. And you know that heavy feeling that sits in your chest like a weight that just won't lift? Maybe you're replaying old memories over and over again, and no matter how much time has passed, the pain feels just as fresh. Now, I've been there and I know what it's like to carry that weight every day. And today we're going to talk about how to start releasing it. Before any real healing can happen, we first need to acknowledge the pain. Now, this might sound simple, but it's often the hardest step. Why? Because so many of us have spent years, maybe even decades, running from that pain. I know I did. And for a long time, I thought it was if I just kept myself busy enough, distracted enough, the pain would go away on its own. But pain doesn't just disappear because we ignore it. It lingers and it's showing up in our thoughts, our behaviors, our relationships until we finally face it. Now, I was working with a client the other day who was feeling completely overwhelmed by their unresolved emotional pain. And they told me it felt like a weight pressing on their chest, replying. I could hear the exhaustion in their voice, and all they wanted was a way to finally let go of that constant ache. You see, pain has a way of demanding attention. It will seep into every part of your life until you decide to stop running and turn around to face it. That's what I had to do. And it was terrifying at first. But here's the truth: we can heal what we refuse to face. The longer we bury the pain, the more control it has over us. It holds us back from living fully, from experiencing real joy, because deep down, there's always that part of us we're trying to hide. So I want you to take a moment and ask yourself, what am I holding on to? What am I so afraid to feel that I've spent years trying to push it away? Now, maybe it's anger, sadness, betrayal, or even guilt. Maybe it's the fear of what will happen if you let those emotions come to the surface. But here's something I want you to hear. It's okay to feel all of that. You don't have to run anymore. Acknowledging the pain isn't weakness, it's strength. It's the first step toward taking back control of your life. And I know it's scary. And I remember when I first started my healing journey, I spent years pretending I was okay when I wasn't. I told myself, I'm fine. I can handle this, while inside I was breaking. But the truth is, we can't outrun the pain forever. And the moment we decide to stop running and actually face it, that's when the real healing begins. So let's do this together. Let's start by acknowledging what we've been holding on to. What's one thing you've been afraid to feel? Give yourself permission to name it and know that you don't have to carry it alone. The healing starts here in this moment with this first step. What's one emotion you've been avoiding? Share it in the comments or just think about it for a moment. Now, let's talk about where the pain is really coming from. So often, it's not just the event or trauma itself that causes us to suffer long after it's over. It's the meaning we've attached to that event. Now, think about it for a moment. When something painful happens, especially if it's traumatic, we often don't just feel hurt by the event, we created a story around it. That story becomes the lens through which we view ourselves, our worth, and our place in the world. Now, for me, I attached my trauma to a belief that I wasn't good enough. And I told myself this happened because I wasn't worthy, because I wasn't strong enough, or because I somehow deserved it. And that belief stayed with me, shaping every decision, every relationship, and every moment of my life. I carried it like a weight, believing that what happened to me defined my worth. But here's the thing, when I started to explore that belief, when I really sat with it and questioned it, I realized something important. It wasn't true. The pain wasn't coming from the trauma itself anymore. It was coming from the story I had told myself about it. I had made that event mean something about me, something that wasn't real. And I want you to think about that for a second. What meaning have you attached to your pain? Is it telling you that you're not good enough, that you're unworthy of love, or that you somehow deserved what happened? We often don't even realize we're doing it. But those beliefs shape the way we see ourselves and the world around us. And if you're holding on to a story like that, I want to tell you, it's time to let it go. The truth is, what happened to you does not define your worth. You are not the sum of your traumas, and your value doesn't come from how well you've handled pain. When I finally realized that my feelings of unworthiness were just a story I had attached to the trauma, everything changed. And the pain started to lift because I was no longer feeding it with false beliefs about myself. So I want you to ask yourself, what belief or meaning have you attached to your pain? And is that belief serving you, or is it keeping you stuck? Once you begin to question those stories, you open the door to real healing. Because when we stop attaching our worth to the things that hurt us, we take our power back. Has your pain made you believe something about yourself that isn't true? Think about what story you've been telling yourself. And now we come to perhaps the hardest part of all, learning to let go. I know the idea of letting go can feel impossible right now. And when the pain has been with you for so long, it can feel like it's woven into your very identity. But letting go doesn't mean forgetting what happened. It doesn't mean pretending it didn't hurt or wasn't important. Letting go is about releasing the grip that pain has on you so that it no longer controls your life. You see, when we hold on to pain, it takes up space inside of us. It occupies our thoughts, our hearts, our energy, and it shapes how we see ourselves, and it keeps us stuck in the past, reliving those old wounds. But letting go is about freeing ourselves from the cycle, from that cycle. So it's about making room for healing, for joy, and for peace. It's about reclaiming your power, your identity, and your future. I remember when I first started my own journey of letting go, it felt overwhelming at first because the pain had become so familiar, almost like a part of me. But I knew that holding on to it was only causing more suffering. One thing that really helped me was journaling. I sat down and I wrote out everything I was feeling, every hurt, every painful memory, every thought that has been swirling in my mind for years. It was hard at first, but it was also incredibly freeing. Journaling allowed me to give the pain a voice instead of keeping it locked up inside. And little by little, as I put those words down on paper, I felt the weight start to lift. It didn't happen all at once, and it didn't mean I never felt that pain again. But by releasing it onto the page, I was able to start letting it go piece by piece. And I want to share that same tool with you today. And if you're holding on to something, I encourage you to try this. Take out a journal and write down what's been weighing on your heart. Don't hold back. Let yourself be completely honest, even if it is painful. And when you're done, I want you to write this simple phrase, I am ready to let you go. Again, it's I am ready to let you go. Even if you don't feel ready, just write it down. Writing it down is a small but powerful step toward releasing the pain. Letting go is not about erasing the past. It's about loosening the hold it has over you so you can move forward. So you can step into a future that isn't defined by the hurt, but by the healing that comes after. And remember, letting go is a process. It's something you do one step at a time. And it's okay to take your time. But I promise you, once you start, you'll begin to feel the weight lift. You deserve that freedom. Here's something you can try tonight. So grab a journal and write a letter to your pain. Tell it everything you've been holding on to. Then at the end, write, I am ready to let you go. Even if you don't feel ready, just write it and see how it feels. You don't have to have all the answers right now, but writing it down is the first step to freeing yourself. Are you willing to try the journaling exercise? If so, drop a comment and let me know. Unresolved emotional pain can feel like it's suffocating you, but you don't have to carry it forever. And I'm here to help you through this journey. You deserve to feel light again. Now, I understand how heavy it feels to carry emotional pain for so long. It's exhausting, isn't it? But I want you to know that you don't have to carry it alone anymore. I'll be with you step by step as we work through it together. Now, in my work, I integrate the Stop Suffering Now and Make Peace with Your Past program. It's a framework I designed based on years of professional training, personal experience, and research. This program guides you through a step-by-step process that addresses both the emotional and physical aspects of your trauma, bringing you toward true relief and healing. And we begin with the 4 essential pillars of Stop Suffering Now, which is insight, impact, intuition, and implementation. These pillars can help you expand your awareness, understand how trauma has shaped your life, reconnect with your inner wisdom, and take actionable steps to reclaim control over your daily decisions. And once you've gained relief, we move into Make Peace with Your Past, which is grounded in another set of 4 pillars: acceptance, forgiveness, rebirth, and continued implementation. Through acceptance, you'll come to terms with what has happened to you without judgment. Forgiveness helps you release the anger and resentment, both toward yourself and others, that may be holding you back. Now, in rebirth, you'll begin to step into a new, empowered version of yourself, free from the weight of the past. And with the continued implementation, you'll ensure that these changes become part of your everyday life, creating lasting transformation. So throughout the entire process, I don't just tell you what to do. I walk alongside you, offering personalized strategies and tools at every step, guiding you toward the deep and sustainable healing you deserve. If you'd like to learn more about my programs and services, you are welcome to join me on I Have Questions call. And you can find the link to schedule a call in my comment below after this call, or in the comment by clicking the Bridge to Healing cover photo. So as we close today, remember that healing is a journey, and each step you take brings you closer to the peace and freedom you deserve. You've already begun that journey by being here, and I'm honored to walk alongside you as you continue moving forward. See you soon.